Tonight on Ctv3 News, a retired security guard is dead following a traffic accident on the Ultrabanker Road in Orange Walk. A 35-year-old Tower Hill resident is shot with a pellet gun. High-level delegation from Mexico and Belize resume discussions on the agriculture sector. And we take you to Corozal for the launching of a cell phone repair workshop, the brainchild of the think tank group. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Monday, August 19th, 2024.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize!
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered-up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning-fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
No, I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
Good evening with your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. A retired security guard lost his life over the weekend following a traffic accident on Saturday morning on Otrobenke Road here in Orange Walk Town. The incident happened around 10 on Saturday morning as 67-year-old Fermin Lobo was driving his red Leafan motorcycle from Orange Walk towards Trial Farm when he collided into a parked tricycle which was on the road. According to police, the driver of the red Maylun tricycle, who was identified as 26-year-old Hugo Eliseo Vasquez, reported that he parked on the side of the road and upon doing so, the red Leafan motorcycle driven by Lobo at the time collided into the left rear side of the metal carrier, which is attached to the tricycle. As a result of the collision, Lobo was flung from the motorcycle onto the pavement. At the time of the incident, Lobo complained only of a minor injury to the knee. Lobo, however, died a few minutes after the incident from what is believed to be injuries sustained in the collision. At this time, as police carry out an investigation into the matter, Hugo Vasquez has been issued with a notice of intended prosecution.
Saturday, 17th of August 2024, police responded to a fatal road traffic accident at Otrobenke Road in Orange Walk. Upon arrival, they received information that a male person had been taken for medical treatment. They proceeded to the hospital where they found Fermin Lobo, 67 years with severe injuries, and he succumbed to his injuries. Investigation is that he was riding a motorcycle and he collided with a tricycle, causing his fatal injuries. An investigation is being carried out. The other driver of the tricycle has been served with an NIP, and thereafter the file will be forwarded to the DPP for directives.
At this time, a post-mortem examination is expected on the body of Fermin Lobo to determine an exact cause of death. Tonight, police are looking for 3 persons following a shooting incident which happened over the weekend in the community of Tower Hill here in the Orange Walk district. According to police, shortly before 11 on Saturday night, they received a report from 35-year-old Tower Hill resident Tyrone Morales, who told them that he was walking alone on the street heading towards the highway when a gray Ford Ranger pickup truck pulled up beside him. Inside the pickup at the time were 3 individuals identified as Ricardo Briceño, who was along with Iker Gomez and Elston Pat. All 3 individuals then reportedly confronted Morales, and one of the men, who was armed with a pellet gun, fired several shots towards his direction. One of the bullets caught Morales on the stomach. The men then reportedly left the area. Morales was then taken to the Northern Regional Hospital where he is receiving treatment at this time.
Police responded to a shooting incident at Tower Hill in Orange Walk. Upon arrival, they found Tyrone Morales with a gunshot injury to the abdomen. He was taken for treatment. He reported that he was walking when a pickup came along and stopped near him. He saw 3 male persons, one who pulled out a firearm and fired a single shot at him. He received an injury and is in stable condition. We are now seeking the 3 suspects in regards to this shooting.
At this time, police are looking for all 3 individuals involved in this incident, namely Ricardo Briceño, Iker Gomez, and Elston Pat. A high-level delegation from Mexico and Belize met here in Orange Walk Town this morning for a follow-up meeting to continue the discussions initiated in Cancun in June of this year. The meeting was led by the Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Jose Abelardo May, and the Chief Executive Officer, Servulo Baiza, alongside key officials from the Ministry of Agriculture, the Belize Agricultural Health Authority, BAHA, and the International Regional Organization for Plant and Animal Health, OIRSA. The distinguished Mexican delegation included Mexican Ambassador to Belize, Her Excellency Marta Zamaripa, and Vice Minister for Latin America and the Caribbean, Laura Elena Carrillo Cubillas, along with a high-level team. Today's discussions, according to Agriculture Minister Jose Mai, were focused on 5 main topics, which were previously discussed in a meeting between President Andrés Manuel López Obrador of Mexico and Prime Minister John Briceño.
There were 5 essential topics that we discussed at that meeting, but we didn't finalize anything. The topics were presented, we described them, and we're to have this follow-up meeting. So today, we know that the Mexican, there was an election and there's a new government of the same party, and when governments change, policies change. We in Belize want to ensure that whatever we had with the previous government will continue. And there are a number of things. One of them is the continued support to tariff-free cattle to Mexico. That's one. 2 is the export of green coconuts to Mexico. Again, that was a topic, it was a plant health topic. We want to export green coconuts to them in green form, not diamond shaped as it's called, to export. And we also want to look at the possibility of Mexico allowing us to export sugar and sugar products to Mexico under a tariff-managed status. When I say tariff-managed, it may not be tariff-free. If we can get tariff-free, it is fine. But understanding that they have other trade agreements, the NAFTA, Canada, and the US, we're asking them to consider some type quota and a well-managed tariff. So we're asking them to do that for us. And if it's not only raw sugar, vanilla sugar, it can be other products. And the other topic that we want to discuss is the extension of Sembrando Vida project, which in my view, and from my ministry, we are very much convinced that the project was very effective, and we want to expand it to our farmers. And I think those were the topics that we prepared. Of course, the connecting Belize to the Tren Maya, again, another topic that has been discussed a number of times. So we want this government now to give us the opportunity to dialogue with them so that we can finalize something. And so that now will be the responsibility of the next government that will take over in September, the Mexican government. So we have all our interests well documented, and we want to present that to them today. They will go back to Mexico and then propose this to the government, which is government in waiting in Mexico, so that we can continue the dialogue. And when they are in government, then we can finalize on these matters.
Among the main topics of discussions were the extension of tariff-free status for cattle exports to Mexico, export of green coconuts to Mexico, tariff-managed status for sugar exports to Mexico, extension of the Sembrando Vida project, and the Tren Maya project. Ensuring that both countries can benefit from mutual collaboration, according to Vice Minister Laura Elena Carrillo Cubillas, would serve to strengthen ties.
What I would say is that we have to get Quintana Roo and Belize much closer together. There's so many things that we can do in that sense, in terms of communications, commerce, and also tourism is also a thing that we can work on. Also, Belize is a place that we can expand our exports, so we can get to CARICOM, we can get to Central America, we can work together, because we're not only friends, we're not only family, we can also be partners. That when we're doing this project of expanding our railways, we're finding a lot of Mayan objects that we didn't know existed. So the knowledge that we have of the Mayan culture is getting so much richer because of the expansion of the railways. So there's a lot of potential in this project.
He stands to gain from these potential projects. Minister Mai says trade agreement goes both ways, and so Belize will also do its part.
Us too. We expect them to, because trade and trade relations are a two-way, and so we expect them to ask of us certain things. I do not know. They have been asking us to remove some of the restrictions at the border because they want to tour into Belize, but we put restrictions. We first, if you don't have a passport, you can't come in. One, if you don't, if the vehicle is not in your name, you can't bring in the vehicle. You have to insure the vehicle. So there are many things in there that maybe we want to iron out, but we are asking them to. Today, these 5 things that we are asking them, they haven't asked of us anything yet, but yeah, as yet. So we are saying, well, what is it that we can do for you so that we can strengthen the relationship, so that we have mutual benefits, because it's reciprocal, right? Trade and trade relations are reciprocal. So we expect them to say, well, we want you to smoothen that. We want to come to Belize, but there are so many restrictions. Can we remove them? Can we ease up on the restrictions? So, but we expect them to ask something of us today.
The newly appointed Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Trade, Honorable Dr. Osmond Martinez, was also present in today's meeting, which underscores bilateral trade between Belize and Mexico.
Well, the main outcome is to look at the opportunities that both countries have and to look at the comparative advantages of each one. So, for example, let me just share with you that while today we are looking at the agro-productive sector, it is also important to note that there are other opportunities, such as the tourism sector and the energy sector. It's no news to say that Quintana Roo is one of the largest or biggest tourism destination in the world. And so if we can work together with them, that is one. But in this case, is looking at the trade in terms of commodities between the two countries. And so what is the advantage or comparative advantages that Belize have? And that is that we do have the land mass to be able to produce. And what is the comparative advantage that, in this case, Mexico has, or the Quintana Roo, or the southern part of Mexico, is the population, that they have a high population. So when a country has the capacity to produce, we also have to find a country, or even within our own country, who will consume it and who will purchase what we produce. And Mexico has over 130 million people, which is a huge market.
Following today's discussions, additional meetings are expected between both countries in September following the installation of Mexico's new president, which is expected to pave the way for enhanced collaboration in trade, agriculture, and development, with tangible benefits for the people of both nations. The family and friends of San Pedro resident Francisco Franco Nunes are concerned about his whereabouts. Nunes, 33, was last seen on Thursday, August 15, 2024, in Ranchito Village, Corozal. He is of mestizo descent and approximately 6 feet 1 inch in height. He was last seen wearing camouflage pants and a dark green shirt. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 922, use the P3 app, or report to the nearest police station. If there is one electronic device that people can't be without in this day and era, it would be a cell phone. But as all electronic devices, cell phones don't last forever, and we often find ourselves looking for a phone technician, which we don't have much of here in Belize. In Corozal, that will change soon thanks to a 2-week training workshop focused on the basics of cell repair. The training kicked off today with a short ceremony and with the enrollment of a number of participants, majority women. Elmer Cornejo reports.
Today, a 2-week training for cell phone repair initiated with the participation of young women and at least 2 young men who are willing to learn the basics of fixing a broken device. The training session is a product of the Corozal's think tank, a group of professionals who plan to change the economic scenery of Corozal by providing our younger generation with the necessary tools that will allow them to enter the workplace.
Okay, well, this entire program or initiative was devised by a group of Corozaleños that got organized through what the ministry had prepared, which was a Corozal master plan to diversify the district. And that group of Corozaleños is what we call the Corozal think tank. It's a group of professionals. Many of them are not living here anymore. Some of them are abroad, some of them are local, some of them are in other districts. But the important thing is that all of them have interest to see what they could give back. And so we got together and we devised several projects for the district to enhance its economic development and export-led growth. Of course, one of the most common tools that we use for IT is the cell phone. And a lot of times we tend to find out that there's, for some reason or the other, there's some part that needs to be replaced or there needs to be service. And then it's difficult to get to those type of services within the district. So together with the Women's Commission, we sat down and we said, you know what, and the think tank, we said, you know what, there's an opportunity for women, especially young girls, where we could possibly train them in cell phone repair, because there's a lack of these type of services in the community.
For Thea Garcia Ramirez, who is the head of the National Women's Commission, it is gratifying to see that 90% of the participants are women.
We have participants from not only the urban area, Corozal Town, but also the rural areas. And this particular training is for 2 weeks. It is in cell phone and tablet repair, which is something that I think that we need. We are primarily targeting women, so you'll notice the class is mostly women, about 90%. And I think it's important that we bring more women into the job market. We have a lot of women who, because they're in their child rearing and bearing years, you know, a lot of times women stay home when the children are young, but that doesn't mean that they don't need the extra income, you know, even if it's a secondary income, or in some cases they're the sole breadwinners of their families, and it's important. One of the barriers for women to get into the job market and to stay in the job market is precisely they have no access to childcare, or the childcare is very expensive. So a lot of women will tell you, well, I earn $200 a week, but I need to pay $150 for babysitting services and whatever accompanies. So instead of doing that, and then you still have transport and everything else. So at the end of the day, it's just easier for them to take care of their children themselves and try to see how they can earn a living from home.
But why cell phone repair? According to Ramirez, diversification is key even when it comes to job creation.
Women are very different. We are trying to vary from the traditional courses that cater to women. Usually there's a lot of cake courses, cake decorating, cake making, food preparation, sewing, and things to do with nails and makeup. Not all women are so inclined. Some women have no interest in cooking or do it as a chore and don't find it very interesting as a job. So because women are so diverse, we thought that this would be a very good course. It is shown, you know, if you've ever taken your phone to be repaired or your tablet, it's very costly. So that means that for somebody that's doing it, you know, the skill involved is paid very well.
The training is being conducted by Abisur Quintal from Quintana Roo, Mexico. Elmer Cornejo, Ctv3 News.
Coming up next, backpacks and school supplies for 60 lucky students And the ambassador of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela talks about the elections in that country. Stay tuned.
Win big with Centaur. As a valued customer, we're showing our appreciation for your continued loyalty with an incredible promotion. Update your account and receive one ticket to win $1,000 cash towards your child's education expenses. Get an extra ticket for every month you pay in advance. One lucky winner for each of our 3 branches will receive $1,000 cash. Drawing date September 6 on the Despierta Belice morning show. Don't miss this opportunity to secure your child's education. Update your account now. Start earning those entry tickets and win big with Centaur.
With summer coming to an end, the parents currently find themselves preparing their children for the new school year. This translates to the purchasing of books, uniforms, school supplies, and the list goes on. These items do not come cheap, and the reality is that there are some parents who struggle to purchase these items. Councillor Leslie Rodriguez from the Corozal Town Council knows this too well and decided to lift the burden from families who are financially constrained by assisting 60 students with backpacks and school supplies. Elmer Cornejo reports.
Summer break is dwindling down and parents are already making the necessary preparations to fully equip their children for the new school year. This time of the year can prove challenging for some households, especially if the family is experiencing financial constraints. With this in mind, Councillor Leslie Rodriguez took the task of assisting 60 students with backpacks and school supplies. The items were handed over to the lucky recipients over the weekend at the Corozal House of Culture.
It is part of my youth support portfolio. So I got a past classmate who contacted me and said, Les, do you want to do something for this summer before the kids go back to school? And I told her yes. So in partnership with her, we got together. She provided me some funds and I placed the difference. And together we purchased 60 school bags. Inside them are the basic school supplies, notebooks, pens, pencils, erasers, sharpeners. So it is something that I wanted to give back to 60 kids. We're planning that every year we will rotate the schools in town, the students who get them, and probably give more than 60 next year. Well, I choose 3 schools within town. St. Paul's, Mary Hill, and Santa Rita Assemblies of God. I contacted their principals, and it was through them that they submitted a list of names, and those were the kids who are present here today. I have behind me, Follow Your Dreams. They are our future of this country. I encourage them to study hard, listen to their parents, listen to their teachers, be responsible, so they can be disciplined and be exceptional leaders for our country as well. Thank you.
The initiative was made possible with assistance from leaders of the community, including the PUP Corozal-based standard bearer, Thea Garcia Ramirez.
Today I was privileged and it was a fun start to my Saturday morning to come out and support Councillor Leslie Rodriguez as she is doing something within her portfolio, which I believe is children and student support, and she tied that in with another part of her portfolio which is the environment. And so she combined the two, was able to provide a speaker to give the children some tips. We learned about plastics in our environment, how to try to avoid single-use plastics. So that is all presented in a way that primary school children were able to, really understand information. I was very concerned to realize, I didn't realize before, but I know now that when I'm chewing gum, there's actually plastic in that, and that was an eye-opener for me. And I know for many of the children and the parents especially. So you learn something new every day, and I was privileged to be invited to be a part of this initiative where she gave out school bags to 60 children. And so I'm here in a supportive capacity. Miss Leslie is a up-and-coming young female counselor, and I want to support her work. I think it's a wonderful initiative.
With education being her primary focus, Councillor Rodriguez says the Back to School drive is one of many engagements young people can expect from her.
I've tried to ensure that every month I carry out a certain activity. I try to link them hand in hand with my environmental portfolio. I thank that I have a support system who is there planning with me activities. I thank Mr. Ryan Rivera from Ushana, Ms. Zaidi Veos from Niche, and along with some other friends, Mrs. Thea Garcia Ramirez has also been very supportive. And we come together and we plan what activities we can bring for them. It is either a cleanup. For this summer, I came together with the House of Culture and Ushana. We planned summer activities for them. That, like as I mentioned, tied hand in hand with environmental education.
After receiving their backpacks, parents and students were treated to some refreshments. Elmer Cornejo, Ctv3 News.
There is much speculation about the elections in the oil price country of Venezuela. This comes on the heels of the last elections on July 18, 2024, where Nicolas Maduro has been declared the winner. Despite this fact, though, the U.S. does not recognize his win, and countries like Colombia and Brazil, other Latin American countries, and other nations in the EU have joined in the voice for a new election in Venezuela, with the opposition claiming that its candidate, Edmundo Gonzalez, had won by a margin of 2-1, providing thousands of voting receipts online. There is also talk of a recount. The National Electoral Council in Venezuela is yet to publish a detailed analysis of the electoral results, and this is cause for chaos. Here in Belize, while there is not much talk of the election scenario in that country, the ambassador of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, His Excellency Gerardo Argote, has taken it upon himself to inform Belizeans of what is developing in his country. His first stop was the village of Cristo Rey in Corozal.
En Belice y hoy nos vinimos al norte, nos vinimos a Corozal, concretamente la bonita aldea de Cristo Rey, en donde tuvimos un conversatorio, una actividad de solidaridad con Venezuela, con el pueblo de Venezuela, con el gobierno de Venezuela, y hablamos como en la comunidad, con varias personas que hacen vida aquí en el norte de Belice, amigos, amigas, y básicamente nos vinimos a hablar sobre la verdad de Venezuela, la otra cara de la moneda, lo que no le pasan algunas noticias sobre Venezuela. Básicamente vinimos a hablar del resultado electoral en Venezuela, que las elecciones presidenciales se dieron en Venezuela el 28 de julio pasado. Fue un proceso el cual abrió a las 6 de la mañana del domingo, cerró en horas de la tarde, transcurrió en paz. La gente fue a votar tranquilamente, con mucha felicidad. Un proceso, verdad, que pulcro, un proceso limpio, un proceso en donde está caracterizado por ser un sistema, una tecnología electoral que es básicamente bastante moderna, voto electrónico. Y bueno, básicamente donde tuvo la victoria el candidato presidente Nicolás Maduro tras este proceso electoral. Y bueno, después estuvimos hablando de lo que se ha devenido después del resultado electoral, como fuerzas que mal llamadas de protesta, que realmente lo que salieron a la calle fue a hacer daños, salieron a saquear, salieron a amedrentar a la gente, cuando realmente lo que se quería proyectar al exterior de Venezuela era el caos, era que Venezuela estaba en caos y realmente eran pequeños focos de personas que realmente fueron pagadas para salir a la calle a manifestar.
According to the Venezuelan ambassador, his country is in peace, and to keep it that way, the electoral results have been placed in the hands of the highest court of Venezuela for a judge to deliver a verdict.
Las personas de oposición salieron a hacer sus actividades y las personas que son afectas al gobierno también salieron a hacer sus actividades en plena democracia. Si no hubiese democracia, la gente de la oposición no estaría en la calle. Si no hubiese democracia en Venezuela, no habrían elecciones. Y bueno, básicamente estamos esperando el resultado que debe ser emanado por el Tribunal Supremo de Justicia de la República Bolivariana de Venezuela, donde se diriman el ganador de estas elecciones. Básicamente también hemos estado aquí para explicar que se ha tratado de generar una guerra virtual contra Venezuela, en donde básicamente se explica que se está utilizando las redes sociales como el Facebook, como el Instagram o como diferentes otras redes que son globales, como el X, el anterior Twitter, para generar desinformación en Venezuela y también para establecer, lamentándolo mucho, sentimientos de odio entre los mismos venezolanos. ¿Cuál es el objetivo? Realmente generar caos en Venezuela. No van a poder, no pudieron y realmente no han podido ni van a poder.
Nicolás Maduro has been president of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela since 2013. Summer vacations are slowly coming to a close across the country as most high school students are scheduled to return to the classroom sometime this week. Before summer break is completely over, however, the Ministry of Agriculture under Minister Jose Mai today launched the first ever agriculture summer camp. The one-week program is focused on primary school students from surrounding agriculture-focused villages including San Lázaro, Trinidad, San Felipe, August Pine Ridge, San Carlos Indian Church, and Guinea Grass. The one-week program, according to Minister Mai, will present students the importance of agriculture in our country, teaching them about farm animals, vegetable gardening, as well as bees and honey production in a fun and engaging manner.
We are looking at the food security issue. My staff came with the idea that we cannot make a farmer when he's an adult. You become a farmer, you instill it when they are children. And so we decided to have a summer camp today for the children that are in nearby villages in Orange Rock, close to Yo Creek, because the agriculture station is. And we had today, 86 children showing up. We explained to them the meaning of agriculture, what it is, how they contribute to food security, to income generation, employment, in very understandable terms for the kids, right? And of course, doing everything in a sustainable manner. Not clearing the trees give us oxygen, so they understand. So we have to instill that from them. So agriculture and environment work hand in hand. And we have to understand that. And that is the first thing I mentioned to the children. Agriculture, what it is, and environment. How do we produce but still maintain a healthy environment?
The Agriculture Summer Program will conclude on Friday, August 23rd. And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
It's a historic day for Dangriga, for the country of Belize. We have been waiting for 24 years to open this port.
Today, with the collaboration of the government of Belize, I am pleased to welcome you to this groundbreaking ceremony to mark the rejuvenation of the Port of Commerce Bight and the return of commerce through tourism in Dangriga. The reopening of this port under Southern Deep Port Development Limited will see significant employment, planned for over 100 employees during the 3-year construction period and over 60 full-time employees thereafter, impacting the well-being of the Dangriga and surrounding communities.
We brought some consultants from the Bahamas who has done this in several Caribbean islands, and they went all across the country, and when they came back they signaled Commerce Bight as being one of the areas with the greatest potential for packet cruises and nautical tourism.
Any developing country or developed country, for there to be long-term development, there has to be a good port. We're going to work with you, that we're going to ensure that this is a success, because your success is our success, it is Belize's success.
In the next few weeks, classes will resume for the new school year. But sadly, due to financial difficulties, not everyone has the opportunity to further their education. To do so, many students rely on scholarships, which may be difficult to obtain as the list of persons who depend on these grants is long. At a higher level, students depend on international assistance to pursue a degree. In the case of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, the country is offering Belizean students interested in the medical field an opportunity to apply for a 6-year scholarship.
Estamos en un proceso también de captación de becas, de becarios para que puedan ir a estudiar a Venezuela. Inicialmente estamos iniciando un proceso de lo que puede ser el estudio de la medicina para estudiar en Venezuela por 6 años. Y básicamente es un bonito proceso de estudio para los estudiantes que puedan quedar aceptados en las becas, donde puedan formarse como doctores y que puedan volver a Belice para ser útiles a sus sociedades y a sus comunidades. Básicamente, para mayor información, comuníquense con la Embajada de la República Bolivariana de Venezuela en Belice, donde gentilmente podremos estar dándoles la información al respecto.
If medicine is your interest and you meet the requirements, you can inquire for an application via email at mbaven@btl.net, or you can call 822-0761 for more information. The following is a story not many of us have the bravery to do. We refer to traveling on a bicycle through the Central American belt. This is what travel buddies Mauro Silva and Meredith Fuentes have been doing for 3 years. Today they are in Belize and we had a chat with them about their experience so far.
Yo soy de Argentina, de Buenos Aires. Salí hace 3 años con un amigo. Estuvimos recorriendo ahí un poco lo que es Argentina, hasta La Quiaca, que es el límite con Bolivia. Y bueno, él después se volvió y yo seguí solo haciendo Bolivia, Perú, Ecuador, Colombia. Crucé a Centroamérica y ahí hice El Salvador, Costa Rica. En Nicaragua la conocí a ella. Se sumó a la aventura y ahí decidimos seguir camino juntos. Fuimos hasta Ciudad de México como tope final, digamos, y después volvimos y bueno, acabamos de entrar acá a Belice. Ella trabajaba en un lugar, como si fuera una tienda de la estación de servicio, y ahí fue a pedir wifi para ver un partido de fútbol. Y nada, ahí nos conocimos, nos pusimos a hablar, buena onda. Llovía mucho afuera, así que me tuve que quedar adentro platicando con ella y pegamos buena onda y bueno, ahí fue que surgió la relación, digamos.
Meredith Fuentes says she would have never been to Belize on bicycle if it was not for Silva.
Después de que conocí a Mauro, pues él lo vi que viajaba en su bicicleta. Me llamó mucho la atención porque nunca había conocido tal persona que hiciera eso, ¿no? O sí, pero en redes, pero nunca en persona. Y nada, le pedí ahí algunos tips y me dijo, anímate a viajar. Y dijo yo, dale. Pues siempre tuve esa motivación por conocer y ahora que pues se presentó, porque como le he dicho también a él de que nunca lo hubiese sido hecho sola, aparte de que es muy arriesgado para todas las mujeres, ¿no? En Nicaragua normalmente él habla español, ¿no? Lo que es ya el Caribe, que es un poco de Misquito, Mayagna, otras culturas, otras etnias. En realidad yo no conozco el Caribe de mi país, pretendo llegar a hacer eso cuando regrese, pero siento que el inglés pues ha sido un fuerte para mí también estando yo en Nicaragua, porque siempre he escuchado música, me ha gustado aprender inglés, entonces cada vez que encuentro la oportunidad de practicarlo lo hago sin miedo.
For Silva, arriving in Belize and being able to compare it to other countries, including Mexico, is an accomplishment on its own.
En Belice, sí, en 2 días la verdad que todo muy diferente a lo que es México, hay un cambio muy grande, ¿no? En el tema de las casas, en el tema del hablar, en el tema de las personas, ¿no? La verdad que muy pintoresco, bien, me gusta como la estructura que tienen las casas, así un poco de madera, algunas altas, ¿no? Vimos mucho verde. Nos gustó mucho también que en las casas sobre las rutas no haya reja ni nada, o sea, está todo lindo ahí, tranquilo, relajado. Justamente donde estamos parando nosotros acá en Ranchitos, la casa es así, está la casa del tío, la tía, el primo, el abuelo, la abuela, y tenemos una casita de madera ahí para nosotros que está buenísima, sí, re tranquilo, súper relajado. Con respecto a la gente, muy buena onda, o sea, también como que sorprendidos de que haya alguien en bicicleta, ¿no? Por ahí en algunas partes como que alguna ruta muy conocida, muy popular, la gente ya a veces pasa alguno que otro, pero acá como que, mirá, y estaban como más contentos que nosotros, sí.
Y miran las banderas.
Sí, les llama atención las banderas, las bici, qué llevamos y todas esas cosas.
In a few days, the couple begins their journey back to their respective countries. They should be home by the end of the year. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Tuesday, August 28th here on Ctv3 News and Faista FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3 Belize News or our YouTube channel at Ctv3 News BZ. From all of us here at Ctv3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.